라는 주제로 발표하겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 들어오기 스토리 Today we will speak about PyLadies and PyGents. Please welcome him at part with Abid.
Thank you for coming here. This section subject is PyLadies and PyGents and all others. We are going to talk about us and human being Python, the language that was named actually. I want to talk about all the things that belong between human and Python. As you may already have heard, the subject of the PyCon APEC 2016 is respect and diversity. Let's think about diversity first. What comes in your mind when you hear the word diversity? Now we have many features such as age, gender, height, skin color. But this is pure diversity than we expect. How we can improve the diversity? I want to talk about this diversity today. And I invite all the other people here, and I want to introduce the other my friends. At first, I want to introduce my organization as PyLadies Seoul. And this is my logo, our organization, and we make bi-weekly. We used to participate in the Django Girls coach or Python conference, and I prepared a coding tutorial using Python. You can see on the GitHub our PyLadies Seoul GitHub. And I want to run the tutorial on Monday, but I don't have enough energy of that, so maybe this autumn will happen. And next, I want to introduce the Django Girls.
Hello everyone, my name is Sujin, and I am one of the Django Girls organizers. Thanks for coming here. And Django Girls is a part of the Django Girls community, which originated in Europe. So in your city, I hope to find the new Django Girls, organize for your friends. So we merely organize free 1 day or 2 day workshop and seminars for women to improving their skills and let them to know they have enough skill to become a real programmer. So we want to inspire more women to start Python programming and Django web development. So Hassan is also one of our organizers, so I want to introduce him.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Hassan, and I'm a software engineer in Korea, living here for quite a while. My main work is not related to Python, but I love Python. It's my favorite language. So when I'm free, after my company time, I just do Python, nothing else. So I love the language. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Makabi. I am an organizer of PyLadies Tokyo. And I introduced to PyLadies Tokyo. PyLadies Tokyo is one of the sections of PyLadies in Japan. In Japan, there are 2 sections of PyLadies, Tokyo and Kyoto. We have been doing activities since 2 years ago because of PyCon Japan 2014. We hold monthly meetup with various topics such as web development, data science, introduction, Python, and so on. We aim to provide a support network for women through our connection in communities.
Hello everyone, my name is Shreya and I am an organizer for PyLadies Pune in India. If you're not aware, Pune is a city very close to Mumbai. It's probably the educational hub of India with lots of science and engineering colleges there. I happen to study in an all-women's engineering college there in Pune, and I started out PyLadies in my college with the idea of hands-on programming skills over bookish rote-learned knowledge. So we have been doing a lot of events mainly for students, and we have support from Red Hat in Pune. If you know, Red Hat is one of the biggest companies in the open source world. And now we are moving on to doing more of monthly developer meetups and sprints.
Yeah, thank you for coming, Korea. Then let's go to the questions. The one question is, when you have an event, how many people from diverse backgrounds join? How can all these diverse people fit together?
Okay. Although Django Girls workshop is mainly targeted for women, but men also can be a cultural organizer, so don't be sad. Okay. So, in fact, at our first workshop, we had people from very different backgrounds and countries also. In our first event, we have received over 400 applications. And the most of them are Korean, but we also have the attendees from the overseas, like US or UK, Turkey, Vietnam, and so on. Someone who lived in Korea for many days and many years. Also, we have a Django Girls coaching and event manual. So even if we had the first time, but we can do very successful, everything make very successful event. Also, we have a code of the conduct, and we follow that. So it can make more women-friendly and very amazing event.
Okay, in PyLadies Tokyo, basically all of the meetup attendees, audience coaches and organizers are women. Because we think meetup is a great chance to speak in public. So we encourage women to become speakers. There are usually 15 to 25 attendees, and total number of audiences over 300.
So as I mentioned, our very first events were for students. Whenever we've organized for students in colleges during technical festivals, we have seen almost always a turnover of more than 100 students. Because students have always been more interested in able to learn new technologies like Python. Though when we organize for developers, specifically office spaces, we have seen slightly lesser turnover, maybe because developers, they are so busy in their day job that they cannot make it into another. So we are slowly trying to get events that are combined with students and developers both. And we have been finding trouble in looking for women coaches. Since PyLadies is mainly for women, we also want coaches to be there, women coaches to be there at the events. So we encourage people from the audience, women from the audience itself, to come up and talk about whatever little technical or non-technical they know.
Yeah, thank you. Then move on to the next question. When we talk with various people about the programming, not only Hassan, is there any points that are worth caring about? Yeah.
I think the reason why we are here is that we get very excited about the Python language, right? So from the amateur to professional in giant project or the simple apps, and the coders who have been doing this, and we have to welcome everyone, right? And regardless of the individual levels and on programming, and keep in mind that we do not need to discuss about which technology or program language or tool is the best one. So I don't think we're not in the football stadium, right?
So yeah, I usually don't tell people I'm a developer. So when I meet people, I just introduce like, oh, I'm just foreigner. So usually I want to be very soft with people. So like I don't want to say, oh, I work and I have 5 years of experience and like that. So and yeah, I think that I mentioned earlier, I like Python, so I recommend to new people. And every week, maybe 4 or 5 people, I install Python on their computers. So if there's some problem with installation of your computer, you can consult me because I do all kind of systems. So yeah, I think I tell people that programming is a habit. I mean, and it's not difficult if you do consistently. But I mean, I never expect anyone to be perfect. So when I talk with people, like I don't mind if he knows very basic. Even I try to learn from him or her. And I think Django Girls community is same. Like the reason we do it, like we help the beginners who never heard the word Python or who cannot create a folder on their computer. So it's okay. I mean, and I've seen in last 1 year a couple of people starting from very basic and now they can make their websites. So it's really amazing. This whole ecosystem is around Python and Django community, and it's very welcoming. I mean, anyone can join it. So yeah, I welcome you all here.
I think it is most important to support learning in accordance with the ability of individual learners. Especially, yes, for beginners, we need to be proactive in learning communication.
Yes, the most important thing when talking about programming is to consider the knowledge level that the person has in front of you. If he or she does not know exactly what you are talking about, it often happens that beginners, they are scared to come up and ask you a question, but you know that you have knowledge to share, so why don't you go up to the beginners and tell them about what you know and what you can help them with. And it's important to empathize with beginners and make them feel that, all right, everybody starts from scratch, nobody knows everything. Even I am learning, so are you. Yeah, we are not beginners, so we start with beginners, right? So sometimes, some years ago, we are beginners. We keep in mind about that. The third question is, have you been educated on gender or human rights? While growing up, did you ever heard the idea like girls should be calm or women aren't good at math or science or good at languages? Handicapped people are poor or African Americans are good at sports. In your country, from your countries, I want to talk about that.
In Korea, many people have preconceived ideas that STEM is not for girls, and computer science field is also. So especially when teachers or parents are easily said that you're not math person or you're not computer science person, something like that. So eventually, the unconscious biases discourage girls to keep their studying program language or whatever. In Korea, women are only 70% of computer science and engineering. It's something like very pathetic, like I think so. Also in the work field, sometimes I have heard that low performing programmers or the lawyers are women. But I have heard something like this word often. So yeah, this is my experience.
So I'll answer this one. Yeah, I'm basically, my nationality is Pakistani, so it's somewhat very similar to India. So like in our country, like we have for high school 2 majors like engineering and medical, and I hardly saw like girls choosing the engineering field. So mostly they choose pre-medical and they want to become doctors. It's like a stereotype and it's kind of what they want. But you know, medical field is very difficult to get in. For example, there are 500 seats and there are 10,000 or like candidates. So many people couldn't go to medical college. So eventually they come back to engineering because they have to go to university. So the things are getting better recently as more women are choosing engineering in high school. That's where you basically decide where you want to go. For example, like when I was in university in my country, there are 4 departments, mechatronics, mechanical, computer engineering, and electrical engineering. So out of 4, 3 of them were taught by a female. So it was very impressive. Like, yeah, they were so brilliant. So I think, yeah, in Asia, the women usually they say, oh, you cannot do tough things. Yeah, and yeah, even though in university they are excellent in studies, but when they go to workplace, they disappear eventually. So I hope this change. And I think my personal experience is that women write very neat and less buggy code. So there is no, when I read the code from the women programmers, yeah, on GitHub, it's very neat. I don't need any comments. It's like I want to write this in the same way, following the women coders code. So, yeah.
In Japan, we have a little bias, but we have equal opportunity in education. But a lot of women are not very interested in the technology field. So I think because there are only few women in technology field, so women cannot imagine their career. We should tell them to present situation in computer science.
In India, there's a surprising thing that a lot of women actually, when they choose engineering, they choose computer science. And women indeed do even top the classes. However, later on when it comes to the workplace, like Hassan said, they disappear. Half of them probably, they give up on their jobs after getting married. They don't come back to their job after getting married or after having children. That could be one of the main reasons. So there's this entire mindset that has come up that women, they're good when it comes to writing exams or theoretical knowledge, but a guy, if he didn't get enough marks in university, he'd probably still do well at his job. So, but I think where this comes from is because women didn't get the chance for a long time to participate in computer science. So now when they get the chance, they are trying to push themselves so hard in studies and in education that sometimes they are missing out on the actual practical skills that they should have. So, and that's what we at PyLadies Pune are trying to do, skills over bookish knowledge.
The fourth question is how might we change this prejudice? It's very difficult to change some others' thinking. In Korea, age is quite important when we meet people. If I meet people who are older than me, then I expect that they will have more experience than me. However, this is not always true, right? For that, I don't see any older junior programmer in Korea. But I have seen it States in America. I really shocked by that. How might we change this perception?
Actually, in Korea, Python language is very going to be very popular, and I have so many my friends want to learn programming, and especially like elder people also. But in Korea, I feel that elders cannot learn technical stuff, but it is not true. And when I am taking several Python online courses in internet, and I have met many foreigners over the 50 or 60 coders, but they write very professional code, Python code. And I was very surprised. Even if they have a job or they have family, they don't concern about their situation, but they keep it up their learning, what they learn and what they like. So this learning environment is quite different, I think so. So I hope regardless of the person's situation, they can do whatever they want.
I'll skip that question.
It's a huge problem. It does not look such things. Okay, so you should make appeal to people. There is a biased view. So make a display of stories of young programmers, I think.
So experience can not only be just counted as a number of years, but also the versatility of your skills or the versatility of work that the developer can do. And especially in our field, when things are constantly changing, new technologies, new libraries, and we live in the era of information, in the era of the internet. It's not so difficult to learn something new. Hence, obviously, respect, which Python in fact is talking about, respect should not only be for age, but also for skills and versatility of experience.
Yeah, learning things, we can learn any ages. We have the last question about this, and I want to discuss this topic for everyone. So, what should we do to foster diversity is really difficult to answer, and there are no answer, right? We can't answer on this question because there are no answer on this question. But maybe there are many answers on this one question, and we can see we have seen each differently, but this whole thing is right, I think.
Yeah. In Django web framework and Django community, we believe that diversity is one of the best thing, and we should believe that. So whenever we have workshop or the conference, DjangoCon, we set up everything in front of the diversity, and in the workshop we set up for the disabled and LGBT and some minor people also. So we believe that, technical experience is the most important thing, but however, the community experience, like in Python, is the more important thing than anything else. So I hope in the people in here, this room, believe and agree with this idea. So when we expand our viewpoint of view, and we can build a more successful and neat software, so we should keep in mind this philosophy.
So I have like two views to share. One is like the personal about my country and just general, and other is while I'm living in Korea, what I see as a foreigner living here, how diverse Korea is. Firstly, like diversity for me is like including everyone. Like there is no race, color, no religion. It's all about humanity. I mean, there are like people. For example, in some countries, people of color are discriminated. In some countries, people with religion are discriminated. So this should end. I mean, it's all about human beings and making good relationships. And if you see all those top companies, how they survive is that they create diverse culture. So yeah, I think this is the way to move forward, especially in open source. Like Python is like all open source people are involved. So I mean, they just care about the good code. They don't care about which country it's coming from. And so I've been living in Korea for a while, and like I want to share what I saw here. So as you know that like Korean foreign population is rising. So it's almost 2 billion now. It was like when I arrived here, 1.2 million or something. So you see that it's really increasing. So I think you cannot avoid any foreigner now. So you have to speak some English. So before like Koreans are a little shy speaking English with someone, but now you cannot hide that. In Seoul especially, you will encounter foreigners every street, I think. So there are people from China, US, Russia, Philippines, and I think Korea is opening up more and more. Now I go to bank, there are people speaking English. When I go to some conference, there are English speaking staff. There is support for so one thing about diversity is like the gender. The other is about different races and embarrassing people from different backgrounds, races. So I think Korea is getting very good, and I think the places like Itaewon and Haebangchon and Gyeonggi are is one example. Like when I moved there 3 years ago, I was the only foreigner roaming around, hanging out with other foreigners. Now I see just Koreans there, so it's a good environment there. And so recently, a friend of mine visited Starbucks, and the person, the staff wrote "Behugin" like on the cup, because there was one foreigner in Starbucks, so staff just wanted to remember it's a Behugin. But that guy could read Korean, so he got a little surprised that I'm living there. But I think the situation is changing, and in conferences, in universities, everywhere, diversity is growing. Not just women, it's also like different races, people of color are coming here and they find no problem.
I think we need more women coaches or speakers because especially in Japan, women tend to become just attendees. So, but if we want to foster diversity, women should come to lead themselves. So we should make opportunities such as women can apply their opinion to real situations.
So when it comes to foster diversity, I'd like to talk about two things. One being, when I recently watched this viral video on YouTube about this little girl in a toy store. She's crying that why do I have to buy the pink stuff? Why do I have to buy the princesses? Why can't I buy the racing car or the G.I. Joe? So these certain things, when we raise our kids, we teach them that boys are blue, girls are pink, and boys play with the mean machines and girls play with princesses. But maybe we should just leave it up to the kids to decide, right? So that is one very certain thing which brings up the idea of diversity from childhood itself. And besides that, I'd like to talk about the requirement, the need for more role models, especially when it comes to women. We need more women role models. So I'd like to urge all the women in this room here that please join PyLadies, join Django Girls, and set an example for the other women around you. Sometimes it happens if we just read about some woman role model on the internet or in the newspaper, we don't directly connect. We think she is a celebrity, something far off. But if we could see someone right in front of us, they create a better motivation. So role models are very important.
It's there, already that we don't have any speakers, right? So I want to say about I love this sentence, like just for fun is to speak from the reduced words, and just for fun is I don't care about I can fail to compile or interpreting, or I can see the errors on the screen, but who don't care? Who cares about that error for me? I'm fond of that, and just it. If that is so, I want to many women should try, and if someone who told me you can't do that, then yeah, accept that you don't need him or her, right? So yeah, I want to discuss about these questions on the PyLadies. I made the PyLadies APEC, and I made some stickers for the PyLadies APEC. So if you want some, please come to in front of us and talk about these questions. And we have a Slack. We all in that Slack, so we can talk about that question, and we can ask about the Python or the other diversities. So finally, we really thank you for the panels, and please come some and I want to meet again the other Python. Yeah, and really thank you for coming on this session. And do you have any question, or do you want question about, except that, yeah, feel free to join the PyLadies or the other community you want to join. And thank you for coming here. And we have writing talk on the 103. So yeah, please join the rest of them. And thank you for coming to listen to this session.
답변해주신 신혜진님 감사합니다. Thank you for the speaking, 신혜진. 질문 답변 시간을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 질문이 있으신 분은 마이크 앞으로 나와서 질문해주세요.
질문이 없을 것 같은데. Feel free to come here and
질문 있으신 분
We will
come here. If you have questions, please come here, and we want to talk really, please. Can you break this?
I'm an organizer of community called PyZone, which one is people comes here with his own project and put it together. And actually we have some problem. At the start, class people with diverse country or gender or age skill level, but without again and again, only remain party or other Korean.
Yeah.
So, do you have any suggestion for our community?
I can. So I think the problem I see in Korean community is that like Korean wants to go to Mars. I think a space shuttle, like they want to do very high stuff. Like they want to be best and everything. But I think if you make it very soft, like basic. So if you include some like guidelines for the person joining new. For example, I'm interested in Python. I know Java very well. I know C++. I want to join PyJob. So I join your community and I go through the basic stuff, Python, in first week, second week. Then I become more familiar and I get help from you people because I think having a mentor is very important. So like the problem is that when I see some community from outside, I see that all are very professional developers, so I feel very nervous. But I think if like you make some guidelines for the beginners, like, oh, this is one chapter, like come and join. I think the Yeaji's idea is very good, like append. I like that. So you just do one commit and join PyLadies. It's that simple. So for PyJob also, I think, or any other community in Korea, if you make it beginner friendly, because I think those people maybe have some other programming experience also, but they are new to Python. I meet a lot of people. Today I met those people. So you make those guidelines. And for example, PyLadies has some tutorials also for themselves. Django Girls has tutorial. So it feels like the beginners can become, join, and if they are interested, they come to this account. So this is my suggestion.
Like you said, mentoring is very important. So one thing that you can do as a community is those that are already part of your community, they become mentors for those who join in new. So you have 10 people who are mentoring, and then these new 10 people again become mentors for the next 10 people. Because you not only learn as a beginner, when you're mentoring someone, you learn a lot too. So that is from a structure that you can make for your community.
Thank you, Bryce.
지금까지 봐주신 신혜진님께 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. Let's give 신혜진 with applause for the presentation.